Fans React. This is the aftermath with Michael Bowers. Michael, I'm sure you've got 10 minutes.
I'd rather only talk for 10 minutes at this
I'm sure you've got a lot to get off your chest today.
Well, where do you start with that piece of... right. I know you don't want me to swear, so I'm going to try very hard not to swear. Shambles all over, wasn't it? It was just absolutely disgraceful. I mean, I'll get this out of the way because people know I'm going to say this. We kept 2 clean sheets, previous 2 games, got 4 points. Don't keep one today, we'll lose. Simple as that. Thank you very much. See, more chance of a clean sheet at Subway than there is on the Sunderland football pitch. Honestly, right, but yeah, where do you start? Do you know what, I thought, until Blackburn scored, I didn't think there was anything in it.
Wasn't really.
No, was it good? It wasn't good by any means, but it wasn't like... I don't think Blackburn were better than us by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
Once they scored, though, heads just kind of went down quicker than Sunderland did 5 years ago to League One. Well, it is, but... And I think Steve made a point about experience. I actually agree. I think in midfield we particularly miss experience.
We were absolutely diabolical in the middle.
And to be fair, even as someone who might as well go into bed with Christian Speakman and be his biggest fanboy, you know, like there are some comments he made at the minute that I'm going to dig out in a minute. But what I will say here is, yes, we need more experience. But let's not kid ourselves. That similar group of players has come back from losing positions quite a few times this season to get results. Yeah. Rotherham and Norwich at home, just 2 recent examples. Even if you want to say to a lesser degree, came back to get something at Rotherham, even though we were shocking that night, so it's not really inspiring, is it? Came back from behind against Plymouth, so I'm not really buying this idea that, you know, a second we go 1-0 down, the game has to be lost, because we've shown at least 3 times this season we can recover from losing positions. Yeah. Last season, albeit the caveat is we had Clark off regularly fit, we had Ahmad, we had Stewart for a time as well. We came back from losing positions all the time. So for me, I think anyone who says that is more than entitled to. But for me, I'm getting quite bored of hearing that.
I just feel when we go 2 or 3-0 down, the head's just, and it's like, oh, that's unacceptable in itself. But young lads,
I don't really care. I don't really care how young the players are. I don't care how old the players are. There shouldn't be a sign on their forehead going, we're not experienced, so therefore we have to lose the game and concede 2 or 3 goals. You know. At the end of the day, where's the accountability? Yeah. You know, and I think Speakman's done wrong by letting them hung out to dry, by not giving them more experience to work with. But even then, I'm thinking, the players are not. I'm not letting the players off criticism here. Yeah. I don't pay me money to watch the players going forward like that.
Did you see them players fold today, like Michael when they went 2-0 down?
Absolutely,
just
absolutely,
absolutely
folded. But even then, right, you could say if the first 2 goals from Blackburn's perspective might have been quick, well-worked ones. But I'm always someone who has missed a clean sheet, not in a dirty way before anyone tries it. But I just think at the end of the day, yes, Blackburn's 2 goals you can argue are well worked. 3rd one, shockingly defended. 4th one, shockingly defended. 5th one, shockingly defended. So, but it's okay. We scored a goal apparently.
So it was well worked. I think Robert slipped for the first one, so you could maybe see fair enough. But he did slip in it. That's how the second one. It was well worked, but it was shambolic.
Oh, it was awful.
Back as well, though.
It was absolutely awful. And again, it's just the basics of defending. Like, I'm not being funny. Do you need to be 28, 29 years old to know how to be able to defend? Like,
it's school basic stuff you learn.
That should be coached from a young age. You know. Yeah. But at the end of the day, look, we could do with more experience, but let's not kid ourselves here. O'Nien's got plenty of experience by this point.
26,
this is Ballard's 3rd straight season at Championship level. Yeah. Dan Neil, albeit I know people don't like this, but Dan Neil's played over 100 games at this point. Now that doesn't mean he's a senior experienced player, but that's not nothing. 100 games is quite a lot of football. Then, yeah, okay, beyond that, you're not looking as much, but I'm just getting bored of this idea that we can't criticise the players because they're young lads, you know.
Our system were absolutely diabolical.
Not abuse them or slag them off, because that isn't right.
But if you're saying it gutless and pathetic, and that's not abuse, and you're just saying, if you can praise them when they're good, and you can criticise them when they're pathetic, really.
No, exactly.
That's the way it is.
And I'll get onto everyone above the players in a minute, but all I'll say is I'm just tired of the players avoiding responsibility from a large section of the fan base, and that's their own opinion. Is that
the biggest defeat of the season, Michael, or not? Or have we been beaten any more than that this season?
We got beat 4-0 against Borough, but I don't think I think that's the most we've conceded in a game this season.
That's the most. Yeah, so 5.
I think I might be wrong there. I think so.
So 5 was our biggest defeat. So it's not going to. It's a bad day. It's
the worst result of the season by a country mile.
40 games in, we've got 6 games. That is the worst game of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, so they're saying we're on the 10-minute limit. Oh God, I've spent half of it going on about clean sheets. Right, let's get on to the other stuff. Steve, you dirty bellend. Oh, God. You've got to laugh at this point. Do you know what I even said? Dave Lawrence, because Steve knows him as well. Dave Lawrence of What the Falk, and we know Dave. Yeah. He hates it when I go on about clean sheets. Even he, on social media, admitted the clean sheet thing might have been useful right now. I'm like, so it's got so bad to the point where even Dave's agreeing with me on clean sheets. But remember, defence isn't an issue, apparently.
Our defending's been really
shocking.
poor. Like.
It's been
They
absolutely
concede 5 goals. I mean, we've conceded a lot of goals this season, but it's just the basic standard of it. It's been.
It's just the type of awful ones we've been giving away. But anyway, look. But what I will say is, this should show more than anything else. And I'm not going to slate the guy because he shouldn't be in this position. Dodds can't be head coach next season. I mean,
he's got to be moved, and I think it's proved that he's not good enough.
Oh no, exactly. Look, don't get me wrong. I mean, the weird thing is, like. I didn't want Beale back by any stretch of the imagination, but it's like, but Beale, the results weren't this bad. I know that Dave was saying to us, Dave Lawrence said he thought this turned sour for Dodds. Not being funny, should this squad be doing as badly as it is? I don't think it should be. I think it's nowhere near with Clark and Robertson. It's nowhere near as strong, but like I think it's better than losing 7 out of 9 or whatever it is. I think it's better than that.
It's unbelievable.
If you look at some of the teams we've lost to as well, like Huddersfield and Birmingham. I'm like, well,
Blackburn?
yes, they were. Yes, Blackburn as well. Yeah,
with
Swansea, another one. Like. I mean, Norwich, Leicester and Southampton, they don't excuse them, but you can, especially Leicester and Southampton, you accept they've got the quality. Norwich at home are very, very, very good. Yeah. But I'm looking at the rest of it going, well, like, I'm not being funny, are any of the other teams really better than us? Like, I think we're underperforming at the minute. But
massively, yes.
So, look, Dodds needs to go, and let's get onto this, right? Because obviously people will know, I've been very vocal about Christian Speakman. What I will say is, some of them, did you read the Red and White Army minutes? Recently.
No, I didn't even bother with Mike on that.
Well, yeah, he didn't miss much. What I will say is, what he counted as experience was ridiculous, because he said basically something along the lines of Rustian Rustian's played is 24 years old. Aushish has played over 100 games in senior football. Blah 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 blah. I agree with him when he said that Dak, Roberts and O'Nine are experienced, because I don't know how anyone can argue that. They are experienced. O'Nine's 29 years old. Yeah. Dak granted is experienced on being on Love Island more than playing for Sunderland, but like Dak seriously though, Dak is experienced. Whatever anyone tells me, O'Nine's experienced. Yeah. Roberts has had plenty of games at EFL level. No one can tell me that is not experienced. But to come out and include Aushish as one of your so-called senior players, that's ridiculous. To count Rustian, when he's been coming over from a country that's riddled with war going on at the minute, and he's had to be able to settle, and he's had barely any experience of English football. If you're counting him as experienced, and then even as someone who's one of Speakman's biggest defenders, that can get lost. That is an absolute disgrace that he's coming out and saying they count as experience. And I've stood by my opinion on Speakman that I do believe we haven't had a big sale yet. We haven't. The most we've got for a player is Ross Stewart, but we've gone through all of that. I've gone through my video. I did a video a couple of weeks ago talking about the model, about why I still feel the way I do about it. So go and check that out. But what I would say is, this summer, if we mess it up, and I'm talking, because Clark's gone, we've said it loads of times. He goes, if we penny pinch and get players in who are 17, 18, 19, that in 10 years' time might be competent, whatever it is, as opposed to getting players that are younger but ready for now, then my opinion on Speakman will change. Because when you've got that sort of money in, that is pathetic if we do not reinvest much of that. And also as well, we need to get a competent head coach as well, because... go on.
We'll come in a minute, but you've got Jack Clark, you've got Dan Neil, you've
Dan
got Ballard and Patterson, them 4
Trey Hume as well, to a lesser degree as well.
Try Hume.
Hume, that's what I just said. Try Hume. Yeah. Right, any scouts listen to Shaun? He's saying he's not good enough, just leave him at Sunderland. It's
average. People said about Premier League side. If somebody was to offer me $5 million for Try Hume, I'd snap my hands off.
Well, the quoted fee's been £8 million.
Take it for me.
I disagree. I think I like Hume a lot up here.
Anyway, to see them players there.
I'll tell you what, should we sell Trey Hume and get Denver Hume? Callum McFadden.
So we'll see them players all generate, say, something like 50 million. That's going to be reinvested in the team. But you're on about the head coach, Michael.
Yeah, well,
you should bring the head coach in now.
Quickly on the money, right? I don't think it's acceptable to lose any more than 2 assets. Any more than 2, I think it's then... But I think if you lose a lot of money and you get the money coming in, if you don't reinvest it, this summer for me will answer the big question of, are they here to make a quick buck and get the money, or are they here to actually be ambitious and push us back to where we belong?
Well...
so I think... that question, one way or another, will be answered once. Because if you sell the assets and then don't reinvest it, that explains to me, and that includes that Speakman, KLD, whoever it is, that they're just here for a quick buck. People don't know that that's the case now because we haven't been in that situation yet. So I don't know how people can really say that otherwise. But if we get into that situation in the summer and then don't penny pinch with it, then that suggests to me they're not ambitious. So and then I'll start to say, right now, need to go, because I do stand by the point. I think up till this point there has been a lot of good that's been done. It's easy to forget it now when we've been on a poor run of form, but there has been. Like I think the recruitment's been good, but the last 2 winners has been made very
have been abysmal.
No, exactly. Compared to the standards they've set previous windows, I can't argue with that. It hasn't been good enough, and this is why I think that this summer. I said Steve was the
stink as well. No,
I said Stephen was the most dirty person behind the camera. I think it's got to be bloody Dave. Honestly,
let's move it closer.
Sorry, yeah. But anyway, no, I mean, so like I've touched on that. Like it's the head coach thing, right? Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, there was reports that came out about Heckenbottom.
Yeah,
no,
well, he's a free agent.
Me personally, I wouldn't have been as keen on him just because I think, in my opinion, the squad that he had at Sheffield United kind of carried him to promotion, and I'm not as keen. But at the same time, I can't argue with it. He got promoted last season. So
he's had 2 promotions with, I think, hasn't he?
Something like that.
I'm sure he has. With Sheffield United, I think.
Was Barnsley another one?
Oh, Barnsley had a promotion with Barnsley.
I don't know whether he was at Barnsley when they got promoted from League One to the Championship, but when it comes down to it, look, I mean, Paul Heckenbottom's experience, isn't it? It can't be worse than Beale or anything, or Dodds.
Ian Beale.
Ian Beale, yeah, going to the office. Yeah. So for me, I'm kind of being I'm basically being a broken record at this point. Like this summer is huge for the club. It's massive.
It's massive, mate. It's absolutely massive.
I want to ask you this quickly because I know you want to speak to Nick Barnes, but like, where's this stuff about the £20 million loan come from?
I was speaking to Giles earlier on, and he said it was on the. Nick Barnes said it on the radio
before the game. I'm guessing the BBC Newcastle.
He said that it's 100% true that KLD is taking up a £20 million loan. Now this is why I want to try and get Nick Barnes. He normally comes if he sees us. He normally.
I'm keen to hear this actually. If he does come.
That's what I'm saying. He normally comes this way, so I'm hoping I can get.
What I would say is, you are right in what you said before. That I think. People, wait, this is another thing I want to get out of the way. People saying FFP is an excuse not to spend money is stupid. Because if you look at what's happened, I hate them bastards up the road, right? But look at what's right. Let's just Sorry if there's any Newcastle fans watching, but it amazes me how we get called entitled. It's ridiculous. Anyway, right. The point I was going to make was, if FFP was an excuse not to spend money, why didn't Newcastle spend in January?
Why did they
not spend in January?
It's there for a reason.
Because FFP is a real thing. And you want to look at other examples. Sheffield and Derby in recent years. Leicester, look what's going on over there. Everton, Forest.
So I'm saying they're getting
points there's about 4, 5, 6 examples there where FFP
it's there for a reason.
But so I do appreciate that you can't go around and splash money left, right, and centre because you can't. That's just how it is.
That's old style thinking. That's not the way it works now. FFP is there where you've got to spend beyond your means. Whatever you bring in the football club, your season card sales, your sponsorship deals, and things like that. Player sales is how you generate your money.
Exactly. But again, the big thing is, they're also at a point. They're also at a real risk if they mess up this summer, because a lot of the bad that's got to happen this season has been from their own mistakes and self-inflicted decisions. Like sacking Mowbray, and I still stand by this. I think at the time, as an isolated incident on its own, it wasn't the bad decision. It wasn't that wasn't the problem. For me, what the problem was getting PowerPoint FC McBeal to that is the only way he could have got that job. That is the only way he could have got the job when he basically manages to PowerPoint his way to the job. But that was the wrong decision. Then you get rid of him, fine, but then there's so many catalogue of errors that they've done this season that they haven't had to have done. It's been, and to be honest, I think especially from the likes of Speakman and KLD, I think there was a level of arrogance when it came to the Beale appointment, because they must have seen how many Sunderland fans did not want Mick Beale as the head coach, and they still went ahead with it anyway.
It was a car crash when that shouldn't have happened.
So this is why I say that for this summer coming up, like if they don't address. Well, I mean, we're talking about the multi-million-pound investment thing that was announced. I'm not being funny, KLD. That should have been done a year ago. But there's that. There's that.
The PA system, the stadium itself is dropping a bit, so that's going to be.
You see it, exactly.
The internet connection, you're getting the 5G, so that's going to.
No, absolutely. And don't get me wrong. Honestly, the team's the main important thing, but if you don't fix the errors that are being blatantly suggested, like for me, experienced centre midfielder and a goal scoring striker and even I admit this, have been two positions that have been blatantly needed strengthening and hasn't been addressed. And if this summer, once you then got bigger money coming in from player sales, you've got no excuse then. You should be able to afford those type of positions.
Would you be against it? Like, see if Christian Speakman, see if he was, he's a sports director, see if KLD let him go in the summer. I mean, now. And he still had Stuart Harvey, because I think Stuart Harvey's the one who brings in these. So, and you bring somebody else in as a sports director, maybe that could sort of work, because a lot of people are saying that Speakman's got too much say and he's this, that, and the other.
I do agree with that to a point, man. I think there's a lot of like I said,
I think people's got just vendettas against him, and he's not
well,
going to win either way.
Like I've said loads of times before, even as someone who's a big fan of his, he can't be held above criticism because there's been things that have gone wrong that ultimately.
If he is here in the summer, he's going to.
Well, he needs a big summer.
All right.
But my point was,
absolutely.
so with the apparent loan that's coming in, with what's happened with KLD, Dave said to try and keep this on. Dave said to try and keep this under 30 minutes. It's not happening. Not happening. But all I'll say is, right, with this KLD loan thing, right, that screams to me, if that has happened, because I know you said that you can't throw everything you've added just because KLD might be worth so much money doesn't mean you can throw that at the club. But my point is, my point is, if you're yeah. You know, I couldn't even hear half of what you said there. I don't know if I want to either. But all I say is, right, if he's needing a loan to come out into the club, then KLD can go for me because, like, has he got access to the supposed money that he's inherited from his... I mean, it depends. With all the rumours that you hear, left, right and centre, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of things you can just take, there's a lot of things that people say, and... That was more entertaining than the football from us for the right reasons. My point was, right, if KLD, to get back on point, if KLD's needing to come in and bring in a loan, that screams to me of when Donald and Methven had to bring in that FPP loan thing. Which was, that concerns me quite a bit.
KLD with the money and things, Michael, but I'm pretty certain the way it works football now with FFP as well, is you can only spend what you bring in from the football. So it doesn't matter if KLD has got 5 billion in a trust fund, he can't go, all right, I'll put 200. You can't do it. You've got to basically show your books, and you've got to be basically what money's coming in from season card sales, Sky money, sponsorship deals, things like that. That's what I'm saying.
So how are we not got the money? I've had 3 pints, what was over £15, 2 pies, pizza and chips, that was 25 quid. And all the fat bastard, everybody else.
Don't worry, mate, you can join me in that. You're fine.
In the middle, Dave in the middle.
Where's all that money going?
There's a lot of money coming in. Yeah.
This is the thing, right? So, because there's a fair point there. I mean, look, the attendance wasn't anywhere near 40,000 really, but like it counts season tickets that are sold. Yeah. So it's money that the club's got. Yeah. So, right, it's. They were saying I don't know if they're Blackburn fans or not, but either way, they're saying we were shy. They were not wrong, are they? Whoever they support.
Oh, those go-bedders.
Oh God! You know what? Right? Yeah. Sorry, guys. Yeah, my thoughts are completely disjointed at this point. But like I said, if you're needing to bring in that sort of money on loan, then that screams to me that he hasn't got the money that he thought he did, or he hasn't got access to it. And ultimately, if he's not able to take the club forward to the level we want to be at, then you need to sell to someone who is. Yeah. But it does make you think, though, when Nick Barnes did say that comment, about a month ago, if KLD's still here, now with everything you're hearing, they're starting to think there might be something in that.
So why is he taking out a £20 million loan then if he's selling in the summer?
I don't know.
Unless there's still some debt there and he needs to clear that off or something. I don't. And then
it's lack of transparency, then, isn't it?
There is.
You know,
there is.
And then, I mean, just to counter your point about you can only spend so much of what you earn, and that is right. Yeah. But haven't Ipswich just announced that they're putting like 100 or so million into the club? Yeah. Now I know a large part of that is not going to be on the transfer budget. That's going to be probably on stadium potential expansion or stadium maintenance or whatever it is. There's going to be a lot of things on that, but it then makes you think, well, the point I'm trying to make is, what's KLD's objective here? What's with him? So yeah, because ultimately Speakman deserves criticism for a number of things, but ultimately my point still stands. KLD is the man at the top, and we need to be asking need to be asking. Like I said, people have said that when it was Donald. The people said that when it was Short. You need to be having the exact same standard here.
Absolutely.
KLD for me is the one that you've got to be asking questions and going, what is your objective? What is your plan? What is your long-term thinking, and so on? If we're talking about this supposed 5-year plan they've got, remember that started back in 2021 in the first year in League One. This is the 3rd year of it. Next year is the fourth year of 5 years. Yeah. Now,
and you could look at that and see whether they get the promotion, or getting us out of that league. But then I still think you should be looking to get this division in between 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, I'd agree. But at the end of the day, then, what I would do, and this is just because this is me saying what I would do doesn't mean we are going to do it. But from my opinion is, say Clark goes right, the type of players for me you should be targeting. Liam Miller, we've been linked with before.
Yep.
The guy who's had a really good season on loan at Preston is playing the same position that Clark does, I believe.
Yeah.
Now I'm not expecting him to be at the level that Clark was when he goes, but he should be good enough to help plug the gap missed by his departure. The next one. Goal scorer has got to be a priority. It's got to
get a goal scorer.
Even as someone who's missed a clean sheet, goal scorer has got to be a priority. Now, even if you want to look at it in terms of wages, you want to look at it wherever else. Don't know whether that's Joanne. Maybe Nick is coming. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, someone like.
You said Joanne on the thing.
Oh, never mind. I thought that one was Joanne.
Sorry,
guys. I'm just going off a tangent. My point is, the type of striker you should be going for. If you want to go for younger players, that's fine. But you need to go for ones that have played established in the Championship.
Yeah.
Tom Cannon, Jay Stansfield are the two that I'm
go.
thinking of.
They fit the bill. Yeah.
And I'm not being funny. Jay Stansfield. If you went and got someone like him, should he really, in wages, he shouldn't cost that much. Now, obviously, the counter is, will he want to come to the North East? But no disrespect. But if you will, no disrespect. To wrap it up, no disrespect. But if you're willing to play for Birmingham, you should be willing to play for Sunderland. With all due respect to Birmingham. Yeah. So my point is, someone like that are the players that you've got to be targeting and going for. And if not, it screams to me that they haven't got any ambition.
But anyway, Michael,
but only 6 games left to the end of the season.
We'll wrap it up because we've been on for a while. Cheers for your time, Michael Lowry, pal.
No, thanks again for having us.
Cheers. What's up, mate? Huh?
Just ask if she can go on.